Hey, what is up, investors? Jason here. So this video is going to be a very bullish video on Lucid Motors, talking about why, in my opinion, Lucid Motors is a stock that has a lot of long-term growth potential. Now, this is a stock, in my personal opinion, that I feel like is one that if you buy, prepare to hold on to it for the long term. This is not one that I think that is going to have any sort of major short-term growth to it. So if you're a serious investor into Lucid Motors, then you might appreciate this video. But if you're somebody that is looking to make a quick buck, then this video might not be the one for you. Now, this video is obviously just filled with my own personal opinions, and none of this is any sort of financial advice. So please do your own research when doing any sort of investing. Don't take a person on the internet's opinion and run with it. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to just talk about my bullish opinion, why I think that Lucid Motors is a stock that is worth holding for the long term, for it to really pay off for all the potential that this company does have to offer. So, as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or just gently press that like button. Helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and helps spread these videos to more people that might find it interesting. Also, subscribe if you have not already. And if you are interested in being a Patreon and helping support this channel, joining the private Discord and being able to communicate with me there, I have one. The link is in the description. Thank you to all the Patreons. Now, let's get to it. So looking at the history here of CCIV to becoming Lucid Motors stock, we have to really look at the beginning stages, because there's a lot of criticism with Lucid Motors having to do with what had happened during this time. The fact that the stock went up so much when it was CCIV, and then it dropped so fast. Well, when we really look at it, there was a Bloomberg article that came out during this time. In the first couple weeks of January, or right after the first week of January, there was a Bloomberg article that came out that said that Lucid Motors is looking to do a merger with Churchill Capital. That's what sent this stock on this crazy ride-up here. And then there was a lot of pumping on this stock with Reddit forums and different articles and people making YouTube videos. Just a lot of people saying, hey, you're going to buy this. This is the Tesla killer. Everybody go crazy for this thing. And that's what happened. This stock went to the moon without an official announcement. No one knew that this deal was going to go through other than Lucid Motors and CCIV during this time. Everybody that was putting out that hype, they had no solid information to back that up. Now, looking at where the stock was on February 22nd, when it was officially announced by Lucid Motors and Churchill Capital that they were going to do a merger, that's when we saw the stock at about its peak, at about, the price above $60 a share. After that was confirmed, though, what happened? Instantly, we saw the stock drop because of that. So don't take any sort of criticism with Lucid Motors because of this. This had nothing to do with Lucid Motors. For me to make any sort of statements in this video going forward to say that we're going to see Lucid Motors stock going to the price of $60 a share, I'm not going to be doing that, just to let you guys know up front, because we're not going to judge something off of things that were happening on Reddit and in other scenarios where it was just a lot of pumping. Now, personally, I have no doubt that we'll see Lucid Motors eventually getting to $60 a share, obviously, but right now, in the short term, I don't think we're going to be seeing gains like that at this moment, because there needs to be major catalysts there. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch of manipulation like we had in the beginning, because many people are going from one stock to the next stock, pumping up, the next big trend. And right now, if we look at the scenarios that are going on with the whole EV space, we can say, hey, the whole EV space itself is a giant trend. So in my opinion, what everybody needs to do is they need to pick the winners amongst those out there that have some sort of value in their opinion, that have some sort of long-term stability to them. And so that's what I'm doing with Lucid Motors myself, is I'm looking at Lucid Motors and I'm going, okay, will this one be around in the next 2 years? Because in my opinion, many of these EV companies are not going to be around in 2 years. I think that Tesla is the one that really set some sort of standard, and then many other companies just try to follow. And I think competing with the big dogs, of course, like Ford and GM, there's going to be even more of a competitive problem with many of these newer companies that are out there. So it's where they're at in their business is going to really determine how long they're going to be around. So with Lucid Motors having a factory and expansions on that factory, and a vehicle that has technology that, in my opinion, is better than the technology that Tesla has, then I say, hey, they have some sort of value that is worth it, and it's a company that's worth investing into. So let's look at this graph here from the last couple months. So I set a support line of $23, where we've seen if it goes below that price, there is a lot of support, and we can help see the stock go up a little bit from there. So that's where it has the most support, $23. Where it has the most resistance, where I've seen, is a price at $27.50, and I'm going off of a lot here with the moving averages. So this line right here is the moving averages, and that's where I'm pretty much basing this off of, where we see the moving averages go as low as these $23, and we see the moving average go as high as $27.50. So that's kind of where we're at. And if we are to see the stock really go break above much more than that main resistance line, the green line here, what we really need to see is the stock go above $30 a share. Now, that's going to be a bit difficult to do because there's going to need to be some really good catalyst out there that's going to help support that. Now, since the hype has been there with Lucid Motors, there has been a lot of catalysts that have really, brought up with this company. We have showrooms that have been opening up. We have the new one that just opened up in Arizona. We have one in Beverly Hills. We have people that have seen Lucid Motors vehicles on the road. We've seen the Lucid Air driving on the freeway. Plenty of people have now spotted those vehicles driving around, doing their whole beta testing. Now, that is just one more thing to really help push this company. That's really there to help with people that are bullish on this company stay bullish with knowing that there is an actual physical product that at some time is going to be released. So that's why I say that Lucid Motors is a stock that you got to pretty much invest into for the long term. There's plenty of catalysts that might happen here in the short term that could drive this stock price above $30 a share. Those are still waited to be seen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that happen, especially if there's an announcement of when these vehicles are going to start being delivered, or if we get some sort of good announcement on how many vehicles that they have produced. If we get a new accurate number on all that, I think that would be a really good driving force to see the stock price go up even more from there. But in the long term, there's plenty of catalysts that can really help send the stock back to a price of $60 a share. There, I said it, but you're going to have to really wait for that. It's going to have to be something that happens naturally, like I was saying a little bit earlier. We can't do that off of manipulation. If anybody's going to be a serious investor into this stock, then you have to take it serious and you have to kind of just wait it out. The way I kind of look at Lucid Motors is like how I looked at Tesla, NIO, Plug Power. If you look at my older videos on my channel, I talked about these companies so bullishly and was very criticized for talking about them. Talking about Tesla before the Model 3 came out, talking about NIO when they first IPO'd, talking about Plug Power when they were just a little small penny stock. I think I was buying it for under $2 a share. I was criticized a lot for those type of things, but when you are serious about investing in something and you think that it's a disruptor and it has the possibilities to really do something, that's where I look at Lucid Motors, and I think that everything the company has going for it, with the showrooms, with the vehicles that they're making, with the amount of pre-orders that they have, with the factory, with the investors, the CEO, all that stuff, in my opinion, is all great. And I have no problem investing into this stock and rolling with the punches and seeing where things go and just standing by it and saying, hey, I'm invested in this for the long term. This is I am Lucid Motors strong on the stock, and I'm very curious to see where things go from here. So I would like to hear from all the bulls out there. I'd like to hear from everybody that is holding on to Lucid Motors stock and is willing to hold on to this stock for a long term. Those are the people that I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from the short term guys that are looking to make a quick buck. I also don't want to hear from the people that just want to talk negatively about this stock because they're planning on shorting it. I'd like to hear from all those serious investors out there, and those serious investors out there that are not subscribed to this channel, by the way, you probably should, in my opinion. Just saying. Anyways, so with that being said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon.